Hi there, everybody. I hope you're all having an absolutely wonderful day today. It is late January and the sun is still shining here in Northern California. Don't forget, I'm Fionuala, live, work, and garden in Zone 9B, beautiful Northern California. Right around now is when everybody starts getting the gardening bug. And some of us don't have much space outside. So I figured today's the day I am going to come back indoors and talk about houseplants. Now just say you're just beginning, you're just starting out, you've never really grown anything at all indoors or out. I've picked out 3 kinds of houseplants that are so easy any beginner can start with them. And I'm going to tell you all about each and every one of them. Before I really jump right in, what is so fabulous about a houseplant? Well, some of us don't have enough space to garden outside for a start, but even if you did, it's really, really good to bring the outdoors in, to bring something beautiful and living and green indoors. For one, these beautiful plants purify the air for you. Now, there's all kinds of information out there about which ones are better than others, but I tell you, every single houseplant that you have indoors is doing you some good and adding to the oxygen level in your room. Now, another wonderful thing about any indoor greenery is just the fact that it's indoor greenery. You've got a living plant indoors, lightening up your room, adding life and color and vibrancy to your bookshelf, to your kitchen, to your bedroom, anywhere you have it. It's really, really fun. And then, you know, apart from that, there's so many to choose from. So I'm going to focus on the easy ones today. And let's start with the Sansevieria. Mother-in-law's tongue is another name for it. Snake plant is another name for it. And they come in a lot of different shapes and sizes and colors. But the one thing every one of these guys have in common is just how easy they are to grow. I mean, this one here, nice, tidy little guy in a nice, tidy little 4-inch pot. And if all you have is a little space on your bookshelf, you can keep it in that little pot almost indefinitely as long as you take care of it in the right way. And what all snake plants love is hardly any water, hardly any fertilizing, and they can take almost any kind of light. Now, most houseplants like bright indirect light, but snake plants will tolerate pretty low light. Have a look over here where I have these guys. I mean, they're underneath a shelf, and they are happy as can be. This one here is one of my favorites. I love this one. This is Laurentii. It's got a lot going on in each and every one of these leaves. So it's Sansevieria Laurentii, Lawrence's snake plant. And you've got this beautiful dark green, light green, mottled snake-looking interior to the leaf, and then you've got the yellow, bright, bright yellow edges on the leaf. It is gorgeous, and you've got so much drama going on in such a simple plant. Like other snake plants, maybe water it, depending where you live. But around here, Zone 9B, where we live, at my house, I water mine once a month. And the way I do water it, I take it out of its decorative pot, bring it to the sink, water it, let it drain completely before putting it back into the decorative pot. And I really seriously let the whole thing dry out between waterings, because that's the one thing that really will kill them, is overwatering. Other than that, I sparingly feed mine, but only, you know, between the month of March to September. Half-strength food. It's a succulent. It really doesn't require much. Half-strength fertilizer, well-balanced, and really maybe twice. Once in the spring, once in late summer, and that's it. And you'll see the one when I show you later. It's incredibly happy. But yeah, there's a whole lot of different kinds. This one here is super fabby. It is super fabby. This one is the straight Zeylonica, which is got that gorgeous striations that kind of go across each and every leaf. The color is great too. The blue-green and the dark green great contrast, really good. Goes beautifully in a gray pot or a black pot. Love that one. And then there's that starfish one, which I can't show you today. It's super cute, and the little leaves go out like that, and it's just a gorgeous plant. So yeah, they come in all kinds of shapes and sizes. They're happy being confined. You can see new leaves coming up on this little Laurentii. Very happy being confined. Very happy decorating wherever you put them. Really happy in low light. They can take bright light too. But one of those super easy plants to start out with. I mean, really difficult to kill. Basically, overwatering is the thing that will kill them. So just don't do that, and you're going to be away with a fabulous houseplant. Next up, let's talk about pothos. Pothos is another absolutely fabulous houseplant to start with. Just say you've just gone off to college, you've never grown a plant all by yourself before. These guys are so rewarding because they are lush and green, and they trail, and they do a whole lot with very little effort. This particular one is golden pothos, lots of beautiful splashy leaves, heart-shaped leaf, lots of trailing, and this is just a baby. Just imagine what it's going to look like in a year or two if you treat it right. And the way to treat a pothos right is, again, you want to let it dry out between watering. Water it carefully, make sure it drains really, really well. And same kind of thing, you feed it maybe 2 or 3 times a year, spring and summer, and it just basically takes off. I'm going to show you the ones, my 2 favorites that I have growing at my house. They've been there for a couple of years, super easy to take care of, super results for like very minimal care. But I was going to tell you a bit more about pothos because it's one of those confusing things when somebody comes in to my store and asks me for a pothos. I have to narrow it down because there's 3 different types of houseplants that people call pothos. There's epiprenum, I'm pretty sure that's how you call it. There's philodendrons, and then there's Scindapsus. Anyway, this is a pothos. This is your classic epiprenum, and it is the golden variety with beautiful splashing. Another fabulous one is Marble Queen. The one I have at home is Enjoy and Jade. I'll show you those guys later. They come in a lot of different colors. So there's lots of really great epiprenums to choose from. Here's another wonderful pothos called Moonlight. I absolutely love the foliage color. It's got that bluish color that is super, super pretty. So if your decor calls for a little bit more of a blue tone, go for this one, Moonlight. Pothos Silver Splash. Now this is one of those ones that is not an epiprenum. This is a Scindapsus, if I'm saying that right. Anyway, it's also called pothos, and you can tell the difference. The leaves have a much thicker structure to it, and you've got that little bit of an almost glitter to the leaves when you hold it up to the light. But the Scindapsus are just as easy to take care of as the other pothos I was telling you about. Basically, you pull off yellowing leaves, let it dry out between watering, completely dry out really, and feed it a couple of times in the growing season. Now it's kind of funny, houseplants, even though they're indoors, in your house, which you probably have heated, they still respond to the seasons outside. So don't feed them in the winter. They really don't take up the fertilizer, and you also water them a lot less in the winter. So when I was talking about the Sansevieria, and I water it once a month, I'm talking about the growing season there. In the winter, when it's cooler outside, my Sansevieria takes up less water. And the same with the pothos, and the same with the Hoyas. They take up less water, so you're going to want to water them less during the winter months. I don't really understand how they know that it's not spring outside, but that's the time that you're going to end up killing them with over-watering them if you ever get that far. Try not to, okay? Okay, so that brings us on to the Hoyas. Now, I've shared a video about Hoyas before and just how easy they are to grow. And you're going to find that up here, down in the description. But I just wanted to show you the little selection of Hoyas I've got going on right now. Also super easy, literally once a month watering again. Now, if they're in a tiny pot, you might want to consider watering them a little bit more frequently. But this one here, Crimson Queen, a baby Crimson Queen, absolutely gorgeous. Another trailing or climbing plant, and Crimson Queen has these beautiful red stems, gorgeously variegated leaves, green and white, and so easy to care for. I mean, the results you get with such little amount of work from any Hoya that you're going to grow, it's really quite astonishing. This one here is the pubic calyx. It's the one I've got in my house. And, oh, this one might even flower. It's got a lot going on, this one. When you see the flowers of a Hoya, oh my goodness, they're fragrant. It's why it's called a wax flower too. They're fragrant, they're gorgeous, they clusters, absolutely stunning. I am still waiting for my beautiful Hoya at home to flower for me. Hasn't done it yet, but honestly, it's so gorgeous anyway, I don't really mind. Now this one is Hoya Lisa. It's a new one to me, but if you look, there's this gorgeous red, pink color on the new foliage, and then it grows up and just, I mean, there's so much going on in this little tiny plant. Imagine a full-grown, mature version. Just amazing. You can see this one is kind of taken off here already. It is ready to go. Absolutely amazing. I guess this one might be coming home with me today. Can't have too many of these guys. So the key here is Hoyas are super easy. Pothos are super easy. Sansevierias are super easy. You really get a lot from these easy houseplants. Why complicate your life? Why go with something that is tricky when you're just starting out? You start out with these easy ones, learn them first, graduate onto anything a little bit more difficult. You're going to feel such a sense of accomplishment. I'm at home now, and here is that absolutely wonderful pothos and joy that I wanted to tell you about. It is quite amazing. I have it here on an upper shelf in my dining room, and those trails have got to be close to, I mean, they've got to be close to 5 feet long at this point. It's as happy as can be in this bright indirect light, which is what pothos really like. However, I have found that they'll completely tolerate low light as well. You just maybe don't want to water them quite as much. Pothos and Joy is one of those wonderful plants that offers a lot. You get that deep green inner part of the leaf, beautiful white variegation, and it is as vigorous as you would ever want a houseplant to be. So this guy right here, like I said, bright indirect light. It's incredibly happy. It probably gets watered, I want to say, every 2 weeks or so. It is completely safe from an overwaterer, which I'm not, I have to admit. But putting it way up on a shelf like this, you know, you will not tend to overwater it. You might tend to forget about it, in fact. And that's what makes pothos so great for the neglectful sort of indoor gardener. And makes it so great for the beginning gardener because it is easy, the results are incredible, with really truly minimal care. I feed this beauty probably twice a year, a nice dilute. Maxi is what I like to use. I dilute it half strength, give a little bit in spring, because as I've mentioned before, your houseplants know if it's spring, even if they're indoors in a heated house like these ones. So yeah, I'll probably give its first little bit of food, probably middle of March, and then I'll give some more in summer or so, and these basically are the results that you get. It is a fabulous plant, really great plant for a beginner. I have another pothos over on this side of the shelf. This one here is your regular jade green pothos. See those heart-shaped leaves right there? Really pretty and glossy and leafy and, you know, again, a lot of greenery for not a lot of effort. These trails here, they're probably about 3 feet at this point. I love the look on the shelves. And this is such an easy care shelving arrangement, honestly. I have a couple of other little houseplants there too. Dracaena, a Christmas cactus, a ficus ginseng. Every one of those need a little more care than this guy. But yeah, pothos, you cannot go wrong with pothos as far as a beginning gardener is concerned. And you can see yourself totally creating a fabulous indoor jungle super easily. I'm going to do another video all about just pothos, where I'll demonstrate just how easy it is to make cuttings. Look at this trail right here. I literally could probably make at least 6 or 7 cuttings, meaning 6 or 7 little baby plants just from that one trail alone. As for the enjoy, oh my goodness, dozens. I would imagine dozens. So the one thing I do want to say about pothos, if you're a newbie gardener just starting out, they are a fabulous, fabulous plant to start with. But if you're a pet owner, pothos leaves and stems are toxic to cats and dogs, so you want to be careful. If you have pets at home, either just skip this one entirely or make sure you have it up and out of the way of your dog or cat. Now I have a dog, she's no more going to eat any of my houseplants than I would, but I could see how this would be very, very tempting to a cat. There's big long trails. Any self-respecting cat would want to jump up there and get it. So if you've got a cat or a dog, think twice before you get yourself a pothos, or figure out a way to keep them away from it. And now on to Hoyas. This little baby here is Hoya kentiana, an absolutely adorable vining, trailing Hoya from the Philippines with long, slender leaves, gorgeous green and cream variegation, but I love the skinniness of the leaves. Now I just got this little guy in the fall, I think at the end of October or something like that. We're only in January and it hasn't done an awful lot, but spring is right around the corner, so I'd lay bets it's going to take off. So Hoyas, they love to dry out between watering, but this one likes a little more humidity than others, so I give it a spritz every now and again too. The key to Hoyas and getting great blooms from them is bright indirect light. It's getting some direct sunlight through some oak trees here, and this little plant is so, so happy. Let your Hoya dry out between watering, give it some water, let it drain completely, bright indirect light, and you're going to get flowers. We've met this Hoya before. This is the Hoya in my house that just keeps growing taller and taller and taller. I did a video before, you can find it in the links. It just keeps going. It's insane. Still no flowers though. It's kind of, oh, I have so much hopes for this creature. But Hoyas, they don't need a lot of care. They are super easy, super dramatic for the first-time gardener. As this one shows, you get so much from very, very little care. I do see a couple of peduncles up there, fairly high up. I'm really hoping it's going to flower for me. But here's one more really great thing about Hoyas. Not at all toxic to pets. Now, if you've got a pet with any kind of allergies, you kind of want to be careful, but know that you are safe with Hoyas if you've got cats or dogs in the home. And finally, Sansevieria. I didn't get around to taking the one at home. I forgot all about it. So here's one more quick review of Sansevieria and how easy they are to grow. They're also called snake plants and mother-in-law's tongue, like I said before, and they are super easy. Let them dry out completely between watering. They are just fine in very low light situations, but they can also take bright indirect light also. And there you have it, everybody. 3 very easy types of houseplants to get you going on your indoor jungle journey. So I will do videos a little bit more in detail for every one of these types of houseplants I've talked about today, because there's so much more to know about Scindapsus and pothos and epipremnums, and I will also learn how to pronounce each and every one of them between now and then. But it is fun, you feel good, your house looks prettier, you're learning a lot about nature, you're bringing nature indoors. Propagation is so darn easy with the pothos too, but when I do my pothos video, I'll tell you all about that one. So there you go. I really, really hope you enjoyed today's video. I hope you learned something. Tell me something I want to learn from you. What was your first houseplant? What did you start out with? What gave you the confidence to get going? My first houseplant was actually a succulent. I was back in Ireland, which in my room was cold and we didn't have central heating and all kinds of things. But I had this little succulent that I had indoors on my windowsill. And that was when I was 10. That got me going because I was so successful with that little succulent. I just kept going and going. So it was fun. As you can see, I have not stopped. So there you go. Hope you liked today's video. Thank you so much for following, for watching. Hope you learned something new. Get going. Get yourself a pothos Moonlight. They're stunning. And I will see you next time. In the meantime, happy gardening. Bye.